Hey everybody, welcome back to Change Your Perspective, Change Your Awareness, Change Your Life. I'm Dr. McLean AF, hashtag that Felon Doctor, here to talk more about this Dear Diary series, which is really contemplating life in a big way, your place in life, and doing so through my own personal thoughts. I will say that the one I'm going to share today, and honestly some that I'm going to share in the future, do talk about suicide. I mean, I won't lie to you, like there were definitely times in my journey where I wanted to kill myself. Like it was just very hard and it was just very heavy. And so if you're grappling with that, then by all means, I hope this is helpful. Obviously I didn't do it and I'm not going to. At this point I've come too far. It's like not even really a thought now. Like when I say it, it's just like, yeah, there's no point to that because I've already come through the mess. Like I can't possibly give up now. I'm not tripping before the finish line. You know what I mean? But at plenty points in this journey, this self-awareness journey, this emotional awareness journey, this regulatory journey, this human journey that I've really taken from the last 5 years, there were definitely times. So let me give you what I'm talking about today. So, Dear Diary, what's the use? What's the point? Why am I trying so hard? Nobody cares what I do. Nobody cares what I say. I feel like I just drift from day to fucking day. Does anything really matter? Is there any real reward? I'm looking for love and joy, and they're nowhere to be found. Not in me, not in the world. I'd rather be in the ground. Right? And so sometimes I like think in poetry a little bit. It's like because I'm literary. So that happens in these things. And these are real. Like I just like, these are just thoughts I'm having. Like I'm just jotting everything down first thing in the morning at like 4 a.m., And so if those are questions you've asked yourself, what is the use? Why am I trying? Why do I get up every day? Right? Literally, I think the big existential life questions of like, what the hell am I doing here and why? You're not alone in that for sure. And the first thing I'm going to say is you matter. And I'm saying this because this is what I have to, I'm going to give to you what no one gave to me. Okay. That's the point of a lot of this is like what I had to do for myself. I want you to have a friend. I want you to have somebody that can do it with you. So like for me, I would have these questions and then I had to like work through and answer these questions by myself, like for the most part. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't bring these to therapy. I didn't bring these to my coaches. Like these were too private, too vulnerable for me to bring anybody but myself and God and my journals. Like that was it, And so, and now you, like so much for privacy. No, but I think vulnerability is important. And I think this is important. So, what is the use of living? What is the point? This is a thing I had to hold on to a lot, and I will give it to you so that you can have it. If you are still here, you're here for a reason. If you are still here, you are here for a reason. Now, the hard thing about humans is that we want to know why. Why am I here? What is the purpose, right? We want to understand. And that's not always feasible or realistic, I'm going to tell you right now. Because you don't know. You have no idea. I was telling someone, and I've talked about this before, part of what gets me through my shit is that I'm like, somebody else can benefit from this. Whatever I'm dealing with, whatever I'm learning, whatever's heavy right now, I can handle because it happened, it was allowed, and I can help somebody else move through it who otherwise might not have handled it as well. And so like, for me, what's the use and what's the point? And why am I trying so hard? Is for other people in a lot of ways. And then there's also it for myself because like I did think a lot about like, why am I like every odd is against me? Why don't I just give up? And I mean that really, like I was like, literally every odd is against me. Why do I care? Why do I want to help anybody? Why does it matter? Like I'm trying to help people become self-aware who don't want to become self-aware. I'm trying to have people invest in themselves who don't give a fuck about themselves. Like I'm trying to make people realize they matter in a world that's trying to tell them they don't. I'm trying to have people look inward in a world that's forcing them to look outward. And it feels like a losing battle. I'm like, fuck, what am I doing here? Why am I trying so hard? And the fact of the matter is, and your journey, your mission's not mine, but if you don't know your journey or your mission, I will say you probably are having these thoughts too, because it's like, well, what am I doing here at all? You know, you're not meant to just wake up and go to work, live and die like that. You know, like that's not what we're here for. And so, what is the use and what is the point is because, like, in the currency of life, the only thing you can take with you is your works. Like, that's it. I was reading James, and biblically, guys, and I won't go too much into this because I don't like to bring this on this channel, but I do, if you're interested, I do teach the Bible on another channel. It's called Dr. Michelina, and I do teach the Bible, like, straight up out of the Bible. I've been studying the Bible for 15 years, so, like I said, I'm literary. And so, it's like your faith without works is dead. So, like, you can have faith in whatever the hell you want. You can have no faith in anything. You can be selfish and miserly here, or you can do some shit for other people. And it is better to do some shit for other people. That's counted as perfect, right? To try to help other people is important, because that's the only thing you bring with you. It's the only thing you got. You don't bring anything else except the good things you've done and the bad things you've done. And this is just my belief. If you know, take it what you will, but I have found that Christianity as I know it makes sense. I'm a big fan. Church as I know it sucks. Religion as I know it is crap. Faith as I know it and relationship as I know it, very different. And so for me personally, like, I'm repenting my ass shit every day. I'm like, God, just forgive me for any bad things I might have done intentionally or unintentionally, in Jesus' name. Like, that's it. Let's just wipe that slate clean. But that's just me. I don't care what you do. I really don't. Not my business. However, I know my mission: bring people home to self, bring people home to Christ if they want to come home to Christ. If not, that's fine too. Doesn't matter to me. So, when you are thinking about what the hell am I doing here and why? Why am I trying? What does it matter? The only thing that you can take with you are your works. That's it. That's all you've got. And so, if you do hate everything, and I've been there, I have. If you'd rather be in the ground and not here, if you're looking for love and joy and you can't find it, you have to get yourself off your mind. And so, because we can't focus inward, and this is why a lot of times, like, I know there's not a lot of people who can do what I do. You can't focus inward without a guide. And because our journeys are heavy and we don't know how to carry them. And so if you try to focus inward, it's like trying to swim in a sea that's like very deep and very turbulent. It's like, oh, you're going to drown. You're going to drown. You know what I mean? Like, that was me all day. Like, I couldn't navigate myself by myself. I've spent like 20 grand in coaches and therapy and all types of stuff, like, over the last 5 years, you know, because it takes a community to help a person heal. It takes a community. I have found in my own personal experience, which is why I created a community, it takes a lot of people with a lot of expertise to bring you back home to self. And, like, that's why for me, like, I can help you with mindset. I can help you with self-awareness. I can't bring you back in your body. I can't help you, get comfortable embodying your emotions. Like, that, I had to learn that. Like, I'm not going to teach you that. My colleagues will, but your girl won't, because I know my strengths. I'm good at self stuff, but I'm not a queen in partnership, guys. Like, I'm not a relationship coach, you know what I mean? I can show you how to be your best self and show up better in your relationship, for sure. But am I going to try to advise you on how to be in a relationship? No, certainly not. Gotta know your strengths. Gotta know your weaknesses. And so, all that to say, what's the use? What's the point? Does anything matter? Why am I trying so hard? That depends on what you're trying. It depends on what you're trying. Let's say you hate your job, okay? Say you hate your job. And you're thinking, what's the use? What's the point? Why am I trying? I hate my job. I hate my life. I hate everything. You're not going to get moved out of that situation. You're going to stay there until you figure out how to come correct, because your external circumstances don't get to dictate how you show up. You decide how you want to show up regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the expectations. It's like, I'm going to show up and do this because this is how I conduct myself. This is how I conduct my business. Which, like I said, and that's going to be another series when I talk about, like, for me personally, what I held on to make sure I showed up to the best of my ability, because it took years. It took years, literally. But at the end of the day, you have to decide to show up in a certain way, no matter who's watching. So that was a thing I did. I was miserable at some of these jobs that I've been taking because it's like, this is so under my ability, you know, obviously. But what do I have to learn here? How can I show up and be the best that I can here? I'm not better than this job. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be as open to grow and open to learn as I can. Every day, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. I don't know, even if you know the job really well, right? Like, you're like, I've been doing this job for 20 years. Like, I know it. Do you know your colleagues really well? Have you helped them at all? Have you inquired? That colleague that you hate, that hates you too, have you tried to repair that breach? Because half the thing we hate about our jobs is, like, the people we work with. And if you show up better, everything around you shifts. If you show up differently, everything around you shifts. I see this every time, literally every time. When a person evolves and changes, everything around them shifts. I mean, everything. And so, yes, it matters. Does anything really matter? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It matters in the universal currency of, if you sow good, you'll reap good. If you're reaping a whole bunch of crap you don't like, you're sowing a whole bunch of stuff that sucks. And I'm going to tell you truthfully, I'm going to tell you honestly. Recently, I was getting so annoyed at this person that I'm in partnership with because I was like, they're not committing, they're withholding things, they're like not giving me everything that I need. And then I started thinking about it. And I was like, oh, F, I'm withholding. I'm not committing. I'm not giving everything to myself that I need. Oops. My bad. Of course, this is happening in my partnership. Of course, this is reflecting what I'm doing. Because how we show up, we're going to attract the same things. And so, when you're thinking things like, what's the use? What's the point? Does anything really matter? Why am I trying so hard? That's all victim mentality shit that you have to work through. And if you need victim mentality, go on a few series back to the mentality series, and that's where that is. So if you are in that space of feeling like, woe is me, which we all get into, we just have to get out of it. Because even, this is part of regulation. When you get to a certain point, you're regulating it. It still comes in. You just say hi to it and watch it go because you know better. Right, and so you know I say this all the time, awareness, then action, then regulation. So you have to get aware of it first. You have to get aware of it first, right? So, yes, it matters. Yes, there's a real reward, and the real reward is when you sow good, good comes back to you. It is a universal law, like gravity. What goes around comes around. This has been for forever for a reason, okay? So honestly, evaluate where you're the most unhappy in your personal life, maybe with your wife or your kids, in your professional life, in wherever. If there's an area of your life you're unhappy in, which because you're on this channel, I would assume that there is. And that's the place to start sowing good and showing up differently. Not because of how you feel about a situation, but because of what you know about yourself. If you're like, I don't know anything about myself, well, you need to do some work. And hey, there's a school for that. There's a school for that, right? That's the whole point of me creating this school, is that there's a community where you can do the work. And so that link is in the description. So I'm hoping that you like this series, hoping that you're enjoying these kind of larger questions that I think everybody asks. I think it's really normal to do that. Like I said, I hope the quality of the video is better. I obviously am kind of batching some things because I was behind and I want to get ahead. on producing content. And so I will probably produce a couple more, so you know, they'll be coming in succession. But if this is helpful to you, let's like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, get notified, grow the channel, and I will see you guys on the next video.